Jesus, Alejandro, that's some chaotic evil level monologuing. Wow.
Episode 3 opens up as the plane nears its next destination, and this is a good one.
And I hope you all brought your giant radioactive monster repellent because we are about to land in Japan!
Gosh, you guys, that's totally a Chinese outfit.
Thank you, Harold. Now remember, anyone who doesn't sing,
You'd really think you'd work harder to get it right.
Harold, anyone who doesn't sing is immediately disqualified.
Your cultural insensitivity is just... Oh!
You lost me at cultural insensitivity, Harold.
Instead of landing the plane, Chef decides to just slice open one of the doors and all the players get sucked out of the plane and start falling to their deaths. I don't know why Chris is able to stand properly with a door gone in one shot and not able to in another. Anyway, as the campers are falling, they're given the musical challenge for this episode, and this song, Before We Die, is pretty good. Not only are there several funny lines, all the imagery of the cast falling down is well done, especially Harold and Owen breaking the laws of physics by falling in the wrong directions, and double especially for the circle shot. That's a pretty good shot. I have to say though, I'm legitimately surprised that they did this song in the Japan episode. It has nothing to do with Japanese culture, and that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I would have guessed they would do a song that parodies anime or some other element of Japanese culture in this episode. The group conveniently falls into a giant bowl of rice, and Alejandro flirts with Lashana right in front of Harold. He even speaks Japanese to her, because of course he can speak Japanese. He's Alejandro. The first part of the challenge is a crazy pinball machine game show parody thing, and in this scene, we learn that Tyler apparently really likes Japanese game shows. For some reason, I really like that detail. In the challenge, one member of each team has to get in these giant pinballs and try to score the most points. They also have to be accompanied by a panda.
Gosh, you guys, pandas don't even appear naturally in Japan. They're only native to China. You'd really think you'd work harder to get things right.
Alejandro volunteers to do it for Team Chris. Cody volunteers for Team Amazon, and Lashana forces DJ to do it on Team Victory. It's never explained why she wanted it. I guess the writers just want to see DJ's animal curse in action. Team Victory's panda obviously hates and assaults DJ. Conversely, Alejandro's panda adores him, because it's Alejandro. And Cody, well, his panda is Sierra.
Oh, to be physically assaulted by an obsessive fan that I'm terrified of. He really is living the dream.
If we got a point for every time she kissed me in there,
We'd be millionaires!
Is this her gum? Ew!
Yeah, living the dream.
Team Chris wins the first part, followed by Team Victory and then Team Amazon. Of course, the Victory Panda does not fare too well after being in the pinball with DJ. After the break and a funny bit involving total drama in Japan, the second part of the challenge is announced, making a Japanese commercial.
Because, those truly are the two pillars of Japanese culture. Silly game shows and weird commercials.
Jokes aside, I do actually find this challenge pretty cool. It's enjoyable seeing the teams work with the resources they have to make their ads, especially Team Victory. Primarily because of Harold, who, after being buttered up and manipulated by Alejandro, takes total control of the production. But like most visionaries of the world, his ambition comes at the cost of the friendship with his teammates.
I have a dramatic vision. It mixes Kurosawa's pathos with Miyazaki's sense of wonder.
Man, I love Harold. He really is the sleeper hero of total drama.
Team Amazon is the last team able to look for props in the cargo hold, and because of that, they don't have much to work with. Unless you count seeing a shadowy figure resembling Ezekiel to be something to work with. The three alpha girls all storm off and we're left with just Cody and Sierra, who just throw something together on their own. The scene where all the commercials are shown is actually really cool. Team Chris makes a kaiju-inspired commercial featuring Owen as the monster. Team Amazon uses the random junk they have to make a crazy, surreal explosion of colors. But my personal favorite is Team Victory's, primarily because I find the whole nerdy teenagers recreation of artsy Japanese cinema concept hilarious. It's made even funnier when literally everyone hates it and they lose. Before the vote, Alejandro once again plays to Harold's insecurities by convincing him to make a noble sacrifice. And because of that, Harold is the one who goes home, despite DJ being the one who got the most votes. He interrupts the vote and commits seppuku, but not the badass real kind. He just uses a lightsaber projection thing, like a little wuss. Though, right after he dives off the plane without a parachute, so maybe he's not a wuss. I don't know. I suppose it depends on your school of thought on the definition of wussiness.
But hey man, he had a good run, and that Kurosawa Miyazaki line is still very funny to me.
Episode 4 takes our cast to the Yukon, where they have the challenge of navigating a partially frozen river, then doing a sled dog routine on a select route to the finish line. The first camper of any team who arrives has to be a sled, which is sort of a double-edged sword kind of rule. It makes it so that individual members don't want to be the first person there, but if everyone on a team refuses to finish the course, the entire team is worse off. So there's a bit of bickering here and there.
Courtney, first Amazon to arrive. Grab a sled and start pulling.
Heather got here at the exact same time. We should both pull the sled.
Yeah. No. In the event of a tie, we go alphabetically.
Heather, help me out here. What can I do, Courtney? I didn't make the alphabet.
Putting these two on the same team really was such a great idea.
The first half of the challenge is primarily used for comedic purposes, especially with characters like Owen and Sierra. There's a scene where Cody's about to get attacked by a polar bear, but Sierra manages to completely knock it out by throwing a giant ice cube at it. Then Cody falls into the water, and Sierra quickly rows her way to save him. I don't know about you guys, but I am a really huge fan of Sierra's brand of physical comedy. I just adore seeing the absurdity of her abilities that are essentially just justified by the power of love or whatever.
Oh, dear Cody. If one of us drowns, I want it to be me.
Me too.
We do get some establishing character drama throughout the sequence, though. Alejandro starts turning his flirtatious charm towards Bridget, and he actually seems to be really throwing her off her game.
When Jeff's around, I'm never tempted by other guys. Probably because when Jeff's around, we're always making out. But now that it's just me, I miss Jeff.
He even quote-unquote accidentally kisses her, which certainly freaks her out.
I have a kind of a boyfriend. Kinda.
I wonder how Jeff is doing right now. Poor guy is probably devastated.
Meanwhile, Lindsay still doesn't remember who Tyler is and actually calls him Noah by accident, because she's really just that stupid. Team Victory quickly takes the lead in the second half